Okay, so hey, Team Rhino, this is Ryan Chapman, and I'm going to take you through um, a video presentation on social media marketing. We're going to talk about having a plan for your social media. So, you have a plan of what you're going to post each day, not exactly what you're going to post, but the ideas of what types of things that you're going to post to go from finding people to attracting people. I think a really good mix of the two, finding and attracting people, is good. But what a lot of people get stuck with at the beginning is doing those initial invites, going out and finding people, and they start kind of running lower and lower on people to find, and it gets harder and harder. And if you have a really good social media plan, you can start attracting people at the same time. It takes a little bit of time. But once you get there, more and more people are coming to you in addition to the people that you're out there finding. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this, and let's see what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. We're going to start with the philosophy. Basically, I've already started kind of talking about that a little bit, but we're going to go a little bit more in depth on why we want to have a social media plan, and then what's the goal of the social media plan? What are we trying to accomplish with the social media plan? And what's the timeline for the results? Are you going to see it right away? Is it going to take 2 months, 6 months, a year? And then I'm going to give you the plan for both a personal page as well as a business page. And we will also talk about when you want to have a business page or if you want to have a business page, and you can make that decision. But I'll talk about, whether you want to do that or not, and give you a plan for both pages. Then I'm going to give you a do this list. So within your plan, make sure you're doing these things with your posts and with your engagement and things like that. And then a don't do this list, make sure you're not doing these things. So I'll give you that list. And then I'm going to go through example posting days for my personal page and my business page, so you can kind of see what kind of things I do um, in actual examples. Okay, so that's what we're going to get into. Let's start with the philosophy. The philosophy being, why have the social media plan? What's the goal? And what is the timeline for results? Okay, so I want to go ahead and talk to you where you can actually see me for this, and we'll talk about these three things. So what I talked about at the beginning of the video is a little bit about why you want to have a social media plan, but let's get into that a little bit further. So what a lot of people I see do is they don't really have a plan for their social media and what kind of things they're going to post each day. And what happens is it gets kind of random, and sometimes you get stacked up with a lot of things posting about Beachbody and about your business, nothing about family and other parts of your life for a while. And then people aren't engaging with that anymore, so then you get scared of that and start posting all about family and other things and nothing about Beachbody, and it gets random, bunched up, and it doesn't give your audience a good mix of what goes on in your life, and they either tune out um, or they just don't like it very much, and so it's just random. So if you have a plan, if you have an actual social media plan where you're going to post about certain things most days, and it doesn't have to be, it's not going to be robotic or just, like I'm just going to pump out this stuff and it's not going to be really true to me. That's going to be part of it, is that it needs to be true to you and what you are. But this is going to give you a plan to kind of showcase what your life is like, so that people can follow you and be attracted to you. So what's the goal? The goal is to show people who you are, because most likely, if you're a Beachbody coach and you've got results with these programs and you're starting your own business and you're interested in being successful, you are an attractive person and you are someone that people will be attracted to, but you have to show them that attractiveness. And if you post randomly and post too much about one thing and not enough about another thing, or you're not being real, you're making things sound like your life is better than it is, or whatever, then it doesn't really truly showcase the attractiveness of you. And that's what this plan is really going to do. It's going to help you have a plan so that you can showcase who you are. So that's what our goal here is. Now the timeline piece of this, what's the timeline for results? It's totally going to vary depending on how well you already do this, how attractive you've already made yourself, and just how well you do it from now on. but it is not an immediate thing. It's not a results now type of thing. This is something that happens over the course of months or a year, that you become more and more attractive to people and people start coming to you. You don't have to post message me for details to join this challenge group or anything like that. People are asking you when your next challenge group is, and people are sending you messages and saying, "I love your posts. Please keep doing your posts," and stuff like that. That's what we're really going for here, but it takes time to build that. So this is something that you're going to implement with the idea that you're going to get something out of it in the future and not necessarily right now. Okay, so that's the philosophy. Let's go ahead and get into the plan and exactly how to implement that in your social media, all your different social media accounts. We're going to focus pretty much on Facebook here. Okay, so you can use this concept in other accounts, but we're gonna talk about Facebook. All right. Okay, so the plan, right? This. I'm going to give you the plan, and we're going to start with your personal page. What are you going to post on your personal page to start attracting people? First of all, you're going to post 3 to 5 times per day. And you want to do that every day with very few exceptions. If you go on a vacation and sometimes if you're on a vacation, you might not post as much. Sometimes you post more than that on a vacation, right? Because you're posting pictures of your vacation and trying to make all your family members jealous and whatnot. But sometimes you go on a vacation and you just, you're out somewhere hiking or something like that. Maybe you're camping. And so those are exceptions where you might not post for a couple days, and a couple days may not hurt you. But if you're posting 5 or 6 times a day one day, and then the next 3 days you don't post anything on Facebook, and then you come back and post once, and then you post 10 times all about sales for Beachbody and stuff like that, the consistency there is just not there, and it's much harder for people to be attracted and to look for your posts and to wait for your posts because they enjoy them, because it's just way too random. So you want to post 3 to 5 times per day, very, very few exceptions. Here's the nice mix that I think works really well. 1 to 2 posts that are related to Beachbody or fitness. I should put in there, or fitness. It does not have to be necessarily Beachbody. If you go on a 50-mile bike ride because you're training for something, and you post about it, that's one of your fitness posts. That falls into this category. It's important to note that most of the time when you post your 1 to 2 posts about fitness or Beachbody, that they are not invitations. They don't have message me for details. They don't have click like if you want to know more. They just are things like, hey, I did my insanity workout today and I got more push-ups in the push-up jacks than I've ever gotten. It's awesome, and I'm enjoying my results so much. You don't invite anybody to anything. You don't try to sell them anything. You just doing those push-up jacks and doing your insanity workout is part of your life. It's part of what you do, regardless of whether they buy anything from you or not. So you just tell them about it. Facebook is a place to showcase you and to be able to see what other people are doing, and as they showcase themselves too. People love to talk about themselves, and other people love to follow people who are interesting. So that's part of you, so talk about it. But you don't have to make it an advertisement. Okay, so 1 to 2 posts about Beachbody. And remember, at the end of this, I'm going to go through examples on my page of what I do. Okay, so 1 to 2 posts about Beachbody. Also, I have some examples, just ideas, workouts, your routine, your favorites, things like that. Now, 1 to 2 posts about family or social stuff. So I just had dinner with one of my best friends that I haven't seen in forever. I love to see, I had such a great time with him, and tag him in the post or something. I'm at the park with my kids. We're riding bikes. Different things like that you can post about your family. And we'll talk more about how to kind of word those posts and be engaging about it instead of just statements like we're riding bikes. In the do this section, I'll talk more about how to be engaging with that instead of just doing boring posts, basically. So 1 to 2 posts about family or social stuff, 1 to 2 posts about personal improvement. This, I think, is very important. Talking about how you're working on improving yourself is a really important part of your social media, because I know that you guys, if you're doing the 3 vital behaviors, you're doing personal development stuff, right? You're doing that personal development book. You're doing the book by Seth Godin, or you're doing the book by uh, you're doing something like that, right? So what are the things out of those books, or out of your Bible devotions, or whatever it is that you do? What are those things that really struck you and said, I'm going to implement that? If you find a good quote in your morning reading or whatever, stick it on Facebook and help other people. It doesn't have to be, again, any kind of advertisement or anything like that. It's just, hey, I found this in my morning reading and I thought it was great. What do you think? You know, inspire people with that personal improvement, and show people that you're constantly trying to get better, and that you don't necessarily think that you have it all figured out. You're looking for ways to make yourself a better person. So 1 to 2 posts about that, and I will give some examples again. Occasional invitations to groups. So every little while, it's kind of it's hard to know when. I don't have a formula for that. Like every 4 days, you put out an invite, but occasionally you're going to invite people to groups, okay, or invite people to try something, or say something like, I love what I do for work now, or I love my Beachbody business. If you want to try it out, like this post or something. That's okay occasionally. I like to do those a lot of times linked from my like page, so my business page, which we're going to talk about in a minute. So I will put that kind of a thing on my business page, where it is a little more okay to be putting out lots of advertisements, because people have given you permission, because they know it's a like page, and it's not a friend request thing. Then I'll share the post from my like page over to my personal page when I talk about the business opportunity or the challenge groups that I've got going. But I only do that every once in a while. I do it much more on my business page, and then I link every once in a while to my personal page to let some people know there that maybe aren't on my like page. Okay, so occasional invitations to group, occasional invitations to your like page. So sometimes I will, maybe once a month or so, I will tell everybody on my personal page, hey, if you want more stuff on my fitness related things, I try to keep this page, you know, a little bit more variety, and talk about my kids and my family on here. But if you really like some of the stuff I do with Beachbody or triathlon stuff, head over to my like page over here. If that's not you and you don't care about that stuff, don't worry about it. Just hang out here. That's what I usually say. It lets people know that I don't want you to just like my page just so I can get more likes. I want you to know about it. So if you want to like my page, you can go like it. If you don't want to hear that stuff, I'm okay with that. I think that has worked really well. A lot of people will head over there and like it, but I do that maybe once a month. Okay. So again, the point is to show people who you are. So if you look at what I'm telling you to do, 1 to 2 posts about Beachbody, or fitness, that's part of who you are. It's a big part of who you are as a Beachbody coach, is that you're going to every day be a product of the product. You're going to stay fit. You're going to work on your fitness. You're going to lose weight if you need to lose weight. You're going to, you're going to drink your Shakeology. All those things that you do on a daily basis, you can post about those because it's part of your life. It's when you overdo the invitation and the join me, join me, join me stuff that it becomes not about showcasing who you are or showing people who you are. It becomes about trying to sell them something. So just show them what you're doing. They will be attracted to that, and the invitation can come either personally or they will actually ask you about it. 1 to 2 posts about the family or social stuff, again, that's just who you are, right? That's your family. That's what you do. You're going to have a beer with so and so. You also do something like maybe you make quilts, or you enjoy stand-up paddleboarding or something like that. You can put those things out there on Facebook. You can show people how you were at the lake with your family or whatever. That stuff's just who you are. People enjoy that kind of stuff. And then 1 to 2 posts about personal improvement. So you're always trying to get better. You're reading your personal improvement. So show people that. So the point is to show people who you are. The point is definitely not to pretend to be something you are not. You always want to be positive on Facebook. You do not want to be that person who posts about how somebody cut you off today, and why can't people drive, and why can't people do this, and why can't people do that, and why are people so stupid, and I can't, and you're posting all kinds of political stuff about how stupid Republicans are, or stupid Democrats are, or a whole bunch of stuff about gun laws and all kinds of things like that that are super controversial and negative to a whole bunch of people. If you want to be a positive influence on people and you want to get them to be attracted to you, you can't be extremely controversial and you cannot be negative. However, the reason I bring that up here with the point is not to pretend to be something that you are not, is you don't want to take your life and over glorify it into something that it's really not. You don't want to be so positive and so upbeat about things that you never show any kind of, like there's anything hard in your life, and that everything's just so wonderful. And the way I put it is, you don't want people to want to be exactly you. You want people to be attracted to you. So you don't want to try to tell everybody that everything that you have is the best stuff, and that they should want to live in your house, and they should want to drive your car, and they should want to, look like you, and have your facial features. What you want is for people to want to be similar to you or go down the same path as you. They want to have financial freedom, whether it be through Beachbody or something else. They want to have a great family life in their own way, just like you have a great family life. You want to be attractive, but not trying to tell people that the way you do things is the only way to do things. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So you show people who you are, and they will be attracted to you because you most likely are an attractive person, but you have to show that. Okay, so that's the plan for the personal page, and we've got more to come to show you more details on that. But let's get into the business page real quick here. So a business like page posts 2 to 4 times a day. I make it a little bit lower than your personal page because this is more just about business, and you're not going to have that whole family aspect as much here. You can post some things about your family on your business like page. That's okay, but that's not really why people are there. They're not there to hear about your kids and your family. They've given you permission to talk about your business, and like if you're a Beachbody coach and they've liked your fitness page or whatever, they've given you permission to talk to them about fitness stuff. So talk to them about fitness stuff, and I'll show you can throw in some humorous stuff and some unrelated stuff, but you don't have a daily post about your kids unless it's fitness related, like your kids are doing your insanity workout with you or something that might be funny to put on there. Okay, so 1 to 2 posts about Beachbody, not all invitations. You can go a little heavier on the invitations on your like page because of that permission thing. People have given you permission to talk about your business when they liked it. You can do more invitations. 1 to 2 motivational posts. So motivational, sometimes a little bit different than personal development, but they can cross over, right? But motivational, there's tons of motivational sayings out there, quotes on pictures, things like that you can use to motivate people. Videos, there's awesome videos out there. You're a coach. I don't have to tell you how to put up motivational quotes and sayings. Hopefully, I think you know how to do that. But 1 to 2 posts about Beachbody, 1 to 2 posts about motivation, and then 1 to 2 humorous posts. So maybe a day looks like 2 posts about Beachbody, 1 motivational post, and 1 humorous post. That's your 4 posts for the day. Okay. So humorous posts, you can just like find a funny fitness picture of somebody doing something stupid in the gym and ask people to caption it or something like that. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. It doesn't have to necessarily be fitness related. It could be something that you love and it's just funny. That way you can kind of get away from fitness for maybe 1 post a day or 1 post every other day. Maybe a picture of a dog doing something and you can relate it to fitness maybe. But the point is to provide useful content consistently, things that people can relate to In the motivational posts or the humorous posts, they can even be articles that actually have good information. Or even in your Beachbody fitness posts, you can repost like a Beachbody newsletter or something that is motivational that gets people good content. What you want to do is provide content that people can say, that helped me. Either helped me with motivation or helped me understand something better, so it educated me, or it just made my day better. It's not all about getting people to buy stuff. It's about giving them useful content so that they're attracted to you. So when you do put in that one invitation in the middle of a whole bunch of good, useful content, they are more likely to say, you know what, I'm going to do it this time, because they subconsciously they like you. They are, you know, they're attracted to you, and so they say, you know what, I'm going to contact him about that. He has a group starting. I'm going to contact him about that, or her. So the point is not to bombard with advertising. Provide useful content. Good content, good content, good content, your message, repeat. Okay? So give them content that they can use over and over again. Then give them your message, which is usually, I've got a challenge group starting, or you should really try the Shakeology stuff, or I'm sending out Shakeology samples, or whatever it is that's specifically related to getting someone involved more than just on the page. That comes in the midst of lots of good content. Okay, so we got personal page, we got business page. I just want to remind everyone here that in both of those cases, what we're doing here is marketing. We are marketing ourselves and our businesses, creating attraction for our business by providing useful content and showcasing ourselves and what our life is like. This is not about inviting. Inviting is a personal process. Marketing is a little bit less personal. It goes out to everyone. Okay, so it's marketing is what we're doing right now. Okay, so you can't consider any of this invitations. I called some of the stuff on the business page, I said you could do more invitations. Even those invitations I consider marketing, not, they're more advertisements than they are invitations. I think invitations are personal things, one-on-one. I invite you to come do this. Okay, let's get into our do this list. Okay, so within the plans, these are the things you do want to do when you're using that plan. So I've given you the basic how many posts to do, what general mix of types of posts to do. Now within this, do this. Get a business-like page. Let's talk about that a little bit more. So not necessarily right away. Okay, when you first start out, you probably need to grow an attraction base on your personal page for a while before you get the business-like page. That's not necessarily true for everyone. Some people may already have somewhat of a fitness following and you can move people over into a like page fairly quickly. Other people that maybe just got results with P90X and become a coach, and no one thinks of you as a fitness person, maybe you don't get a business like page right away. Start out with your regular page, and as people are engaging more and more on your fitness posts, especially on your fitness posts, then start a like page and start moving people over there so you can do more fitness posts to them. Okay, but if you start out and you're getting one like on a fitness post, don't be discouraged by that, but it's probably not time to start a business like page, because on your personal page, when you're doing very benign fitness posts that you're not even asking people to do anything, you're not getting much engagement. People are not ready to follow you as a fitness guy or fitness gal. Okay, so you do want to get a business like page. Eventually you're going to get one, but you may need to start with a personal page only to start with, and then move to a business like page later. I would say if you're putting up a fitness post about Beachbody or about your 50-mile bike ride or about anything fitness related, and you're getting 20, 30, 40 likes on it and 10 comments, you might be ready for a business like page where you can start telling all those people that like all your fitness posts to move over there to get even more. Okay, but if you're getting one like or no likes on your fitness stuff, then stick with your personal page for a while. That's my opinion on that. Be consistent with posting. 3 to 5 times a day on your personal page, 2 to 4 on your business page if you have one. Be consistent with that. It doesn't, that's why there's a range there, but don't go a week with one post a day. Just don't do it. Get up there in the 3 to 5 on your personal page so that people are consistently seeing stuff from you and they start to enjoy seeing it because you are an attractive person that they want to follow. Build by listening. So adapt based on what gets engagement, right? So as you see people engaging more and more on certain types of posts that you're doing, make sure you continue to do those types of posts for those people because they enjoyed them. One of the things I noticed is anytime I post anything that my kids say, my twin girls, when they say something funny, people really engage with that. Lots of people engage with it on my page, on my personal page. And so whenever they say anything funny, I put it up on Facebook because people are interested in it. And not necessarily because I'm trying to, manipulate those people into being part of my business, but those people are following me and are friends on Facebook with me because they want to know about my life and I want to know about their life and what's going on. And those are the things that they're commenting on. So those are the things that they want to see. So I'm happy to engage with them and show them those parts of my life. And it also, of course, I love showcasing my kids, so it's easy. But listen to what people are engaging with as you're doing this posting plan and posting various things, and then continue to do those things. And the things that aren't getting any engagement, you know, tweak them a little bit. um, do that type of post again, but make it a little different, word it a little different, ask for a different type of engagement, which we'll talk about in just a second, or just get rid of that post after a while if that kind of thing is just not engaging with your audience. If you're putting up hey, caption this funny photo and nobody ever captions the things for you, maybe that's not a good post for you, and just move on from those and find something else that's in the humors category or something. Um, Always ask legitimate questions that people can relate to and answer. If you ask a question that only the PhDs that you're Facebook friends with are even going to understand, let's say you're an engineer like I am, and you only ask a question that people who are really good at math are going to understand or want to even try to answer for fear that they're going to say the wrong thing and look stupid. It's not a very good question. Ask legitimate questions that people can relate to and answer. Asking for advice on where to go on travel or what to do when you are on travel. Like, I'm going to Vegas next week. What show would you see? Almost always gets engagement because there's plenty of people who have either been to Vegas and have seen shows and will love to tell you all about their experience, or want to go to Vegas and want to see the shows. And so they'll tell you which ones they would see. That's a question that can relate to a lot of people, right? If you ask, where are the best places to go for a run in Las Vegas, there's not going to be a lot of people that go running when they're in Las Vegas, I don't think, and they may not, that's not the type of question that's going to engage. So ask questions that you think will engage with a lot of people, that a lot of people are going to be interested in giving you advice or giving you a little bit of an answer on. Okay. Request engagement, such as like for more info. That's a pretty good way to engage if you are doing some type of a marketing invitation to people. Ask them to like the post for more info. Message for more info is not as good. Message for more info is not as good because when people are on their mobile, it's much harder to go message you, but when they see something that interests them and you say like for more info, people can like it really easy in their news feed on their mobile. Okay, so if you are requesting engagement on a particular invitation type marketing post, request engagement by like for more info, but also request engagement in the form of questions. Like I said, ask questions that people can relate to and answer. That's a form of asking for engagement, or asking them, what do you think after, you say something like a motivational post or something. What do you think? So just request engagement from people, because sometimes if you don't request it, they won't say anything. They'll just read your post, and they may even really like what you said. But when you ask for engagement, the same people that would have liked what you said but didn't engage will now engage because you asked them to. Sometimes it's really that simple. Here's a good one. When using a quote, use a pic and or thought of your own to amplify it. So I I just don't ever post a quote from, well, I can't say I never do, but I almost never post a quote from a book or from anywhere with just the text of the quote and the person who did it. I have a thought of my own before or after the quote, and usually a picture that goes along with it. A lot of times, if I want to post a quote, I can find the quote on a picture, already made on a picture, or I can put it on a picture and post that, and then put my thought in the text of the post. Uh, always, always, always do that. It doesn't take that much to at least put your own thought in there on top of the quote, but it really doesn't take that much to do a pic along with it. And Facebook pictures on Facebook, it's so much more engagement than just text posts do. So really think about that and use it. I'll give you some examples. Again, remember, I'm going to give you examples of a lot of this stuff so that you can do this even better. Um, even just a hashtag along with your quote, like pound truth, when you quote something that you really like, is way better than just posting just the quote. Um, Watch for the engagement and answer and like each comment. When people are commenting on something that you wanted engagement on, make sure you're there liking their comments, responding to their comments, tagging them back when they respond. You know, tag if you're responding specifically to someone's response, make sure you tag them so that they know that you're responding specifically to them. So you can tag other non-coaches if it won't embarrass them. I don't recommend tagging coaches because that's just kind of like trying to get into their news feed, and that's just not cool. It's like going into their audience, the people they're trying to get to be attracted to them. So I don't tag other coaches usually unless they're my coaches in my downline. But I will. You can tag other non-coaches that you know if it won't embarrass them and you think you have their permission. That's something that has to be up to you. But a lot of times, tagging someone in a motivational post that you know will help them is personal to them, and it does also get you into their news feed, which makes your post reach more people. Okay, so that's an option. And then we've talked a lot about this. Be you. Show people what your life is like and not a made up version. Exactly what your life is like. Be positive, but don't over glorify things. You have problems just like everyone else does, but you don't dwell on those problems. If you want to talk about one of your problems, show also how you are overcoming it and be positive about it and how you're going to make it better. Um, Provide useful content to your followers that coincides with your ideals. Make sure you aren't contradicting yourself or being negative in one case and then positive and then negative. You always want to be positive, showing how even a bad situation can be made good, and make sure everything's coinciding with your ideals and you're not being fake about stuff. Okay, so don't do this. So this is the don't do list. Don't tag other coaches to get more visibility unless you have an agreement. So unless they're in your downline and it's going to help them out too. If they're crossline, I mean, don't go tag Tommy Migrant or some other big name coach so that all the tons of followers that he has see your post or something like that. That's just not cool. Okay, that's his following. Let him engage his following and you engage yours. Don't do that just for visibility. Okay, if it has something specifically to do with that person and you're thanking them, that's a different situation. But don't tag other coaches to get visibility. Don't tag big name people that are going to give you more visibility on your posts. Don't ignore comments unless they're inflammatory and rude. Then you can delete them. Some people will come on and tell you that what you do is a scam or something like that. If someone's inflammatory or rude or is cursing on your post or something like that, then you can ignore that person and delete their comment or whatever. I think that's a good thing to do. But if people make a comment, ask a question or something like that, even if it's kind of contradicting what you were saying, don't ignore the comment. The best thing to do, I think, with people who are objecting to what you're saying is to validate their concern and respectfully disagree, but be gracious about it. But don't ignore comments. Don't argue or defend. You validate the concerns, but you don't have to agree. Don't post statements that don't encourage engagement. So this is what we were talking about a little bit before. Don't post things like, I'm riding my bike. That doesn't. There's very few people that are going to engage with a post like that. Or it's time for lunch. Just a post like that. If you want people to follow you and be attracted to you, those kind of posts are not going to get much engagement. Very few people. There might be a couple people that are like, oh yeah, I'm hungry too, when you post it's time for lunch. But a better post, if you want to talk about lunch, is it's time for lunch. I think I'm going to go have this. What are you having for lunch today? Are you eating healthy? Something like that. That's going to get people to engage, not just a statement. So don't post boring statements that don't encourage engagement. Like there's an example. I am at the gym. That is boring. People don't care that you're at the gym. If you're at the gym and you're doing insanity in the racquetball court on your laptop with 10 other people, that might be a little bit more engaging. Or you talk specifically about what workout you're doing and how much fun you had doing it or something, and ask people what they're doing at the gym or what they're doing for their workout today or something. But just I'm at the gym, that's boring. That doesn't get it. Don't use message for details or especially the words let me know. People will not let you know. So ask them to like the post if you have the urge to say message for details. Ask them to like the post for more details, and then you let them know. Let me know just does not work a whole lot. So I already said liking is easier than messaging when on mobile, so that's why you will get a lot more chances to actually have permission to engage people, because they might like the post while they're on mobile, saying, "Oh, well, I'll get more info about it if I like it, so I'll go ahead and do that." But if you say message, they might be like, "Oh, well, I don't want to go to my message center and type in his name so that his name comes up and then try to message him and all that stuff." All they had to do was like, and then you get to engage and say, "Hey, I saw you liked my post. Let me give you some more details," or what questions do you have is even a greater thing, because then they can respond and say, well, tell me more about blah, blah, blah. Don't share other posts. This is an interesting one. When you take a post from somebody's timeline and share it, especially on your business page, it shows up in a lot less news feeds than when you make a post specifically yourself rather than sharing. Same thing happens with your personal page. If you share a great quote directly from, say, Success Magazine's timeline, you share it onto your own timeline, a lot less people see that than if you copy the quote, and you can give credit, you're still going to give credit to whoever the quote was from, but don't copy it directly from Success Magazine, because not as many people are going to see it. And then you can also, if you copy that over and make your own post rather than sharing it, you can add a picture or something like that, like we talked about before. Now, I say don't share other posts. That's because we're talking about trying to get engagement, but it doesn't mean that you can't ever share posts, like bad things are going to happen. But if you're looking for a lot of engagement on something, that's not the thing to do. If you saw something and you were on mobile at the time, right? You're on your smartphone and you see something you really like and you want to share it on your timeline, and you don't really care about that much engagement, you just thought it was a great thing and you wanted to share it with whoever gets to see it, go ahead. It's not going to hurt you. It's just if you're really looking for engagement, you're going to have to make your own posts. So just think about that before you share things. If you really want a lot of people to see it, just make your own post out of it. So best to use similar idea, make your own post, give credit as necessary. Don't make up stuff that isn't true. Like I said, don't make your life into something that it's not. Your life is good enough to be attractive to people, so show them what it's really like. Don't pretend to be something more than what you are. All right, so examples from my own personal page. So this is just the other day. First post I did in the morning, and this was for my morning reading. I'm reading a Tony Dungy like daily devotional thing. If you don't know who Tony Dungy was, coach of the Indianapolis Colts and also the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and also a Christian. So it's a daily devotional type of thing. You know, whatever your morning reading in it is fine if you have morning reading or something you're reading in the middle of the day too. But here's what I put up. Good quote from the book, and then my own comment, right? So I said, now that is truth. Commitment doesn't mean what it used to these days. Have you noticed that even marriage doesn't really mean commitment anymore? Just because it is becoming the standard for everyone else doesn't mean that it should be your standard. Now, I got a fair amount of engagement actually since then, even more engagement on this one. Um, this one's a little more controversial than a lot of the ones that I do. You know, I mean, I talked about marriage and but people really enjoy this kind of stuff where it's like, yeah, that's something that we're all doing wrong that we need to do better is honor our commitments. Um, I think that this is best in the morning. People often say to me things like, that's just what I needed to hear today. And so if you can do a post like this in the morning and do your personal development there, it can be really powerful. Um, like I said, I added my own thoughts after the quote, so I didn't just put the quote on there. I could have also added a picture, but this one didn't really lend itself to that as well. Um, it's about becoming a better person. Okay, so this is my post about becoming a better person, the personal development. Um, just becoming better is the kind of the category of this particular post. So there's an example. Same day, I saw that Shanti had posted something about it being National Running Day, and I actually did not know it was National Running Day. And I'm a running coach and triathlon coach and stuff like that, and I didn't keep up with that. And so I did share Shanti's post. This is sort of a Beachbody post, but not really. It's definitely a fitness related post. It does violate the rule of sharing, but I would say that this is a good exception because it involves Shanti in a non Beachbody post, which I think is good. It kind of shows that I'm following Shanti, and I add my own thoughts and say, how did I not know it was National Running Day, and who's running today? Um, and I guess I have to now, huh? So that causes people to engage with it. Who's running today? I got 5 or 6 comments about people running today. So this is an example of another fitness post that you can do, very similar to this. It does involve a picture. It does violate the rules, but it relates to my running audience. If you don't have a running audience, you might not share this. Remember, you want to be you. So share something or post a picture or talk about something related to that would relate to your audience. Okay, so here's a Beachbody post. Remember, I get up to about 2 every day. So I talk about the trip that we're going on for Coach Summit 2013, and I put this picture up, which has our Team Rhino logo on it, the icon of it, and the Coach Summit logo. So it's a catchy picture, it's something that catches people's eyes. Hey, what's that? And then I talk about all the cool things that we're going to do, and tag my wife in it. And then I put a question on the bottom of it so that it takes kind of the attention a little bit away after they've read all about Tony Horton and Shanti being there and John C. Maxwell, and I get to meet all my Team Rhino people and how great the parties are going to be and everything. Then I engage the audience and ask, for you people who go to Vegas regularly though, if you had a free night in Vegas and you could go to any show, what show would you go to? Right, so that relates to a lot more people. Um, like if I had said something like who would love to go with me and work out with Shanti, I'm not probably going to get a lot of engagement out of that, except for from my Beachbody coaches who are already going, people like you. The regular audience is probably not going to engage with that kind of question. They don't relate as much to wanting to go work out live with Shanti as I do. Right, not my whole audience, but a lot of people have been to Vegas or are interested in Vegas shows, and they can relate to that. So now I'm getting engagement on people commenting on my post about Beachbody. That's getting me engagement, which is getting me in more news feeds, and it's also connecting me with my audience more and them wanting to continue to follow me. So it does make people a little jealous, annoyingly so, maybe, but I don't do this kind of a post every day. And I think the question at the end takes any annoyingness out of it. You know, oh, he talks about Beachbody all the time, because I ask them a question that relates to them. So it relates to people that don't even care about Beachbody by asking a legit question that just about anybody can relate to. And it is Beachbody related. See, so here's same day. Um, I say YMCA pool indoors, my pool outdoors. Wintertime YMCA wins, summertime I win, and then some hashtag summertime and is the pool ready yet, daddy. So that relates people to my kids because of the is the pool ready yet, daddy. And it's not talking about fitness necessarily. It's not talking about Beachbody. It's just talking about getting my pool ready in the backyard to have some summer fun. People love summer. Um, it has the funny hashtag that speaks to my audience that love stuff about my kids. Um, like I said before, I've adapted more to daddy posts because I've learned that my audience enjoys it and engages with it, and it grows my influence. This is a family social post. People can relate with summer. It's positive. It signifies fun. People love fun stuff, right? And summer is certainly part of that. So it makes people, this is 2 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that, and people are probably at work and they're going, yeah, it's summer and pools and fun, and this makes their day better, and this makes them want to follow me more. Okay, so let's see. So these are random examples. So this is not the same day as the last few that I showed you. So I showed you like 4 posts from one day. Okay, so I had family social stuff. I had a Beachbody specific post, but that also engaged the rest of my audience. We had a motivational quote. I think, did I do 3 or 4? Anyway, so those were from a specific day. So that's the mix that I had of stuff that day. Here's another random example. This is a Beachbody post. It talks about what I'm doing for my fitness. It shows my fitness results. It talks about insanity. It is not an invitation. So I didn't come out and say, why don't you join my next group or whatever. I just talked about what I'm doing. It's just a part of my life. It demonstrates the vital behavior to people that I'm actually doing the things that I am asking other people to do or inviting people to do. I could have asked a question, but didn't think it was necessary in this one, and I did get a fair amount of engagement on it, and that's a Beachbody related post. Here's another random example. This is social, fitness, and humorous all in the same. It really related to my audience well, got quite a few likes on it, got lots of people commenting on it. So I said my wife was taking me on. I was taking my wife on a 50-mile bike ride, and said something about maybe they make a trailer and she can just pull me instead of having to actually ride with her. Um, and then said, I'm just doing it for her benefit and all that stuff. And people loved it. This is family and social, but it's also fitness at the same time, but it's not Beachbody related. So people aren't getting bombarded with things that they may think I'm trying to get them to do. I'm just talking about my life, right? And being humorous at the same time. This one is a great example. It's no request for engagement, but it still screams engagement, right? Because people just can't resist commenting on something like that. Um, it engages my triathlon audience a lot because I'm doing a 50-mile bike ride with my wife who's training for a half Ironman. It's also, family, social, exercise all in one. Here's another example. So I shared something from my like page. One of my like pages, the 90/10 Nutrition like page. And I'm also assuring them that there's good content over there. I'm asking them to come see it. So I'm requesting them to like my business page. So I say give it a like if you want good info about how to eat clean. You don't have to join a group or do anything but enjoy good info. You'll get info on upcoming groups there as well, but the main focus is just quality content about eating whole foods and getting results, right? So this is inviting people over to my business page so that I can talk to them about clean eating and Shakeology and my groups, but assures them that what I'm focusing on is good content and not trying to force them into a group, right? I got quite a few likes that day. Um, it basically tells them that I only want them to like it if they want that kind of content. And I shared it directly from my like page so that the link is there, and then I tagged the page in it too. Okay, so here's an example from my business page. Okay, so I said, here's a tip for you, and I gave them a running tip, um, and put a picture with it. So it's just a random picture of somebody running. But this is engaging my audience because these people are on my page because I talk about fitness stuff and specifically about triathlon related fitness stuff on this page, as well as Beachbody stuff, but a lot of triathlon related fitness stuff. So there's a lot of runners on this page. So talking to them about, a good tip, telling them to try it, uh, it's relevant to the audience. Let's go back to that. So I could have asked for immediate engagement on this, but I didn't. I still did get some good engagement on it, but I did say give it a try and tell us how it goes. I could have asked a question like, have you ever tried this? Or um, do you watch your heart rate on runs to see how different things change your heart rate? There's lots of different ways I could have engaged here, but this is just an example of a good post from my business page. Here's another one. This is a specific advertisement. In March, P90X challenge packs were on sale. April, Insanity challenge packs were on sale. In May, Tai Chang challenge packs were on sale. Are you ready for June? Combat challenge packs are on sale. And I have a group starting on the 17th. Message for more details. Okay, so I kind of, what rule did I break there? Whoops, let's go back. What rule did I break? I broke the message for more details rule. And I actually didn't get any messages on this. I got a lot of likes though. So what would have been better? Probably would have been better for me here to put like this for more info on the group, or like this for more info on the sale. And then anybody who liked it, I could have engaged by sending them a message. Let's see, another example. So here's one where I got the quote um, on a picture, and it has a great picture, a great saying on it, and then I just had to put yes at the top. Like, I totally agree with this, and people engaged on it. So it's a picture with a quote. It's motivational. Um, I just put one quick thought along with it. That's all I needed. I could have put something to actually ask for engagement, but didn't need to in this case. Here's a humorous example. So Sean T had put this out. I did not repost from Sean T's page. I got the picture off the page and put it up myself. So, it's got Sean T on a Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket and says it ain't Friday, people. You can hear him saying it. There's a lot of people on this page that like Sean T. Lots of people love Friday, right? People love Friday. It relates with many people. It's funny and it's motivational at the same time. It's a picture with a saying. It catches people's eyes. This is the kind of post that's going to get you some engagement. You can also ask for engagement in this case. You know, ask if, click like if you're thankful it's Friday or something like that. So that is pretty much the end of our social media training. I just want to say I'm not a social media expert. It's not like this is what I do for a living is learn how to do social media stuff. This is just stuff that I've learned over the course of the last 3 years running a business that involves being on social media and trying to attract an audience. I did it the wrong way a lot of times. I've done it, still do it the wrong way sometimes. So I guess what I want to say is, there's probably a lot of other things that you could do. There's probably a lot of other good strategies, but this gives you a plan. It's a plan that I know works because I've gained an audience from doing this kind of a plan. I've never really written it down or anything like this, but this is what I believe works really well. So take some time and work on this plan. Work on the things that I've told you to do in here and watch in 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 10 months, how your engagement changes and how you can see all those people coming to you instead of you always having to go to those people. Okay. If you have questions on this, if there's anything you don't understand or things aren't working for you or whatever, just get in touch with me. You should be able to get my email. If you're watching this, you're probably on Team Rhino, so you know where to find me. But I hope this helps you, and let's get to work on this social media plan and becoming an attractor of people as well as a finder of people.